Miguel Pupo. Alright, let's see what we got. Turn this off. No. Echo. Make sure these are on good. Take a bite of my apple. Howdy and aloha. Welcome to my night talk. The earth and you are ohana. We hope you stay and talk. Howdy and aloha, everyone. It is April the 15th, 2024. I hope you did your taxes because, we need to pay these guys 40% of our salary. Or income. It's fun. The Tea Party had a tea party because of 4%. So I don't get it. Everybody's just sitting and watch the world burn by the global elite. We need to depopulate. What? Yeah. You need to look at it in those terms. There's a better way to do this. And they know it. They're just trying to clean out as much as they can and hoard the rest for themselves. That's their end game. They went full bore when they decided to put that Kool-Aid in everybody's body, and most of the people on the planet went for it. So good luck to your heritage. This apple's just too good to pass up. But that's kind of where we're at right now. These people are fucking crazy. They're all compromised. I'm talking about the Rhipiglicans and the Demoncrats. And these are people that are compromised. Extremely compromised by the New World Order, Great Reset, all that other stuff that are currently taking our tax dollars. These people right here. Maybe some gone. I don't know how old this picture is. It's maybe a year or two old. But they're all puppets of the World Economic Forum and the global pedo-predator class. And hopefully you guys can understand that. If you've been following along with me for the past, since, 2017, I'm on my 6th or 7th YouTube channel because of the Orwellian 1984 Ministry of Truth community guidelines. And that's basically kind of what we're seeing. This is it. We're seeing an agenda happening in front of us. And a lot of people are wondering why. Why is this happening now? What is going on here? This is just craziness. And it is crazy. Because they're pitting us up against each other constantly. With race, gender, this shit we never really had an issue with, but they create these issues. We're all being played, divide and conquer. If you keep us fighting with each other, we'll never fight the true enemy. Our corrupted public servants and the entire U.S. political and electoral voting system via the 1%, the 0.001%, a bunch of sociopathic, narcissistic, crazy, sicko, global pedo-predator class people. And they get you on skin color, nationality, religion, language, profession, sexual preference, class, social customs, political identity, just everything. And they went all in, Agenda 201, they even practiced it and showed you it was coming in 2019. Back with Agenda 201. If you don't know what that is, look it up. And then they implemented it. That was a proposal. And just before that, or around that time when that happened, there was a lot of CEOs and high-ranking corporate officials that were just saying, nope, I'm not in this. I'm out. And there was like a mass exodus. I don't know if you remember that. If you need the information for it, I can find it. I've got it somewhere, I believe, on the website, DIYliberty.org, FTheWEF.org, StopTheWEF.org, or something like that. All right. And that's what happened. Some of them said, no, I don't want to be a part of this shit. This is just way crazy. And just said, nope, you guys go ahead and do your little, mass the population agenda, and we'll just watch and see how fucking crazy it goes. So what happens is they have control over pretty much everything. Congress, like I showed you, and all your political leaders. And then they have control over all these billionaire studios, $1 billion to billions of dollars in these studios with their advertisers, and we're talking giant companies that come in and control everything, like BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, Fidelity, JP Morgan, et cetera, et cetera. It's all bankers. It's always bankers. And some of the royals out there have just tons of assets and resources, money, power, influence, and they coerce, manipulate, create, and put everybody in a state of fear, and they direct you wherever they want to. It's not hard to do. I've been watching since, like I said, 2017. I've been watching longer than that, but I've been actually doing Monotalk since the beginning of 2017. Like I said, I am on my 6 or 7 channel because they don't like what I'm saying. They don't like me, my perspective. They don't like my conclusions. They don't like how I'm connecting the dots. And they especially don't want you to know the same things I do. Because if you do, then you would probably be out on the streets in a bazillion-man march going, no, fuck this right now. We're not doing this. We're not doing this shit. But you're not. You're waiting for a savior or Jesus or Muhammad or whoever, to come and save you. And hopefully, I'm thinking maybe Trump will do the things that he needs to do to expose this scam, to expose this giant hoax, this craziness that's been happening, that's pitting us against each other, which is better for them. It's always, that is always the best thing they can do, is they can make sure that if we're fighting each other, and I think I got that in here, I'm not going to look for it, but their goal, like I said, is to, depopulate, murder, take out, get rid of about 2/3 of the planet. And it's, and hoard the rest for themselves. That's basically what nobody's really, a lot of people think it's about money, more power, more control. Of course, do you think they don't already have that? Do you think they don't already have that? Of course they do. They have that tenfold. They have more control. The global pedo-predator class, has never had this kind of control before. And they grabbed it in early 2020 when they started COVID-19. That's when it happened. And they went all in, right? They pushed all their chips in and they went all in. And so far, in the turn, if you've played Texas Hold'em, they're on the turn, and it looks like they've got 3 of a kind. They're close. Right? The river hasn't came up yet, and you're sitting there with 2 aces, and you got a pair. And they got 3 of a kind. Right? You got a pair on the board, and you got 2 aces in your hand, and they've got 3 kings. Right? They got 3 kings, and they're and we're at the river hasn't been flipped over yet. It's in the process of being flipped over. You can kind of see the look on the dealer's face going like this, but who's going to win? Who's going to win that hand, in that poker hand, that Texas Hold'em hand? And it depends on how much we put in. Do we bluff? And because they went all in. So do we go all in? Do you guys understand that? And I just want to use that metaphor. Because I think it's important that everybody understand that you need to. This is basically a fight for your life. This is not a joke. This is serious, and it's happening right in front of us. And it has nothing to do with party. It has nothing to do with gender. It has nothing to do with your sexuality, or just keep the crazy shit away from our kids. That's all we're asking. We're kind of me somewhat a conservative, but I'm okay with I like gays against groomers. Those guys are great, and they had this on their website because they don't want to see this shit. Right? This kid offended people. He's actually partially Native American. So he had every right to wear this outfit. And people got offended because it was like some kind of thing against Native Americans. And people went off on this kid. But it's okay to have this guy, this man, right? Whether he's fat, got a 43 years old, and a beard, Mr. Pedophile. It's okay if he reads these drag queen story times to your kids. Yeah, that's just a little too much. That's way too much, right? That's not what the world is about. And if you want to keep fighting for that it's a free country still, and you can do what you want to do. But then there's just this new shit that they keep throwing in front of us. They, meaning the global predator class. Obama isn't controlling. He's probably pulling a lot of the strings. And yes, I'm sure he has an earpiece inside of Obama's head. Right? But people are still buying the shit. Right? The customers who bought this item, 9/11, and if you look up Building 7 and type in reporter BBC Building 7 or 9/11 BBC Building 7 or something like that. Because nobody knows that Building 7, they never told you. They don't want to tell you. Came down later on that day at like 5:30 or I don't know, hours later, all by itself, almost a half a mile away in the other direction of the plains, where the wind wasn't blowing over, it was blowing away from it, and all of a sudden it just came down by itself. Yeah. And the Pentagon is where, and I'll just give you this little bit of information too, Donald Rumsfeld comes out the day before, on September 10th, and says we can't find $2.3 trillion. Right? Just disappeared. But the place where the money trail of where that money would be in regards to the Pentagon losing it, that money trail location and all the paperwork was directly in the same time a supposed plane hit the Pentagon that day. 9/11. Isn't that interesting? And some of the area, and the guy, a slinger, I forgot his name, but this guy that he took out an insurance policy on his properties, an insurance policy on his buildings of Tower 1, 2, 5, 6, and 7, I believe, and three or four. I'm not. Anyway, and a few of those buildings. And just days before, just took out, just coincidentally took out, so let's just go that the people that you were bought and sold and believed, 9/11, right? The pandemic, or demic plan, or the plan of the demic, or whatever you want to call it. I call it Fluvid-19, which the numbers never panned out, and if you're still watching MSNBC, you're all in with that. You're buying everything. If you're still watching CNN, you're buying everything. And if you're even watching Fox, you're probably still buying the narratives that they throw out at you, the script that's been laid out and handed down to their supposed journalists. And you're just being played constantly. You hear this. I'm sure you've heard this. It's easier. It's harder to prove to somebody that they've been fooled than it is to fool them. Yeah, it's kind of something that happens a lot these days. Why did this thing go up all by itself? It always hits this corner. Anyway, and that's what's happening. Now you bought Ukraine. When we started Ukraine, we that we did the pipeline. That. Most of you should. It wasn't. They blamed it. Russia blew up their own pipeline and their own, serious stream of literal stream of revenue. People bought that. I couldn't believe people bought that. That was crazy. Why would you fucking buy? It's like, no insurance policy would have compensated for the loss of that, and they didn't damage all of it, just one of the pipes. But that was bullshit too, right? But then you bought it, and you bought a lot of other things that are coming from the mainstream media, right? You just continue to do it, and there are people out there, other than myself, like, look up James Corbett, the Corbett Report. That guy's been doing a great job for a long time. G. Edward Griffin, probably one of the leading sources of following this New World Order society cult, these sicko fucks that have been around for a long time. Jim Rickards has been around for a while. And then Sorrell. Oh, God damn it. I forgot his name. I always do that with this guy. It's just nuts. It's freaking nuts. And you're seeing it constantly. We're just constantly. I'm trying to, and nobody, it's weird. People that I care about and love the most, a lot. There are some I saved. I know I helped and saved. I know. There are people out there that took my advice, and a few people have said to me, "Thanks, man. You opened my eyes. Because of you, I didn't take that shit in 2021, or, I'm like, well, you're welcome. I helped a couple people, right? But this is it. These are all BlackRock, Vanguard, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, World Economic Forum, these G7, G20, COP24, World Health Organization, Council on Foreign Relations, NIH, CDS, all these government, and the list goes on. So these departments and these NGOs and these these entities, in a sense, right? And I wrote right here, the orchestrators of mass social control, mass depopulation, world central banks, aka the Great Reset, set New World Order. That's the goal, right? But you need the middle part. There is the most important thing you need to think about, because that's truly their end game. Because once they have mass social control, which this TikTok bill really helped that case for sure. That, you know, TikTok bill really helped that. Then you're you know, what I'm saying is, if you look at this, they're almost there. There are already companies in the United States that are no longer accepting cash. Right? It's all about one entity, bank, person that's going to be in control of all the money out there, digitally, computerishly, website-ishly. You won't have, gosh, darn, I hear that now. You won't have that control. You're about to lose it. And here's the biggest thing that bothers me with all this, with this agenda. Here's the biggest thing. Let me play this guy real quick first, because I think this kind of sums it up. All right, I got to play this guy because this is one of my boys.
Maybe I read the wrong dictionary, but I thought that a liberal was a man who would listen to everybody's point of view and then make up his mind what he was going to do. I made up my mind pretty fast, but but I don't know of any of these so-called liberals that listen to anything but their own mouth. Pardon my English. Maybe I read the wrong dictionary, but I thought that a liberal was a man who would listen to everybody's point of view and then make up his mind what he was going to do. I made up my mind pretty fast, but I don't know of any of these so-called liberals that listen to anything but their own mouth. Pardon my English. Maybe I read the wrong dictionary, but I thought that a liberal was a man who would listen to everybody's point of view.
That listen to everybody's point of view. Let's see what it really means. Oh, you know what I should do? It may have changed because things have changed. And in the dictionaries in the past 3.5 years, which is very odd to me but I have a 1994 dictionary, and this is the way the world used to be. So I'm going to look up liberal, and we're going to go over that together. If you're here and if you're paying attention, I hope that you are. I feel like Mr. Rogers. Welcome, everybody. It's just, I fucking crack myself up sometimes. Liberal. What does it mean? L-I-F. No, I passed it. Okay. Liberty. Liberate. Liberal. Says generous, simple, abundant, not literal, tolerant, broad-minded, wow, favoring reform in progress, one who favors reform or progress. Which is synonymous in a sense to liberty, which you know what that means, I hope. Erosity, broad-mindedness. Broad-mindedness. And then here, we'll need to respect or accept willing to respect or accept behavior or opinions different from one's own, open to new ideas, relating to denoting a political or social philosophy that promotes individual rights, civil liberties. Individual rights? Wait, what? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? No, you have to shut up the other side. The liberals are all, no more freedom of speech. What are you talking about? Only the speech that we want you to have is the speech that you're going to get. Very absolute Orwellian ministry of truth. Right? That's it. It's crazy. Yeah, liberal isn't what you think it is. Well, liberal isn't what the left is actually practicing. As I just showed you. I mean, look at all those words I just gave you. Simple. Generous. Favoring reform or progress. One who favors reform or progress. Liberate. To release from slavery, oppression, enemy, well, that's liberate. Let me see, liberality, that's, liberality is erosity, broad-mindedness, liberality, that was actually a word. Let me just see if that's in here, if I type it in, liberality. I'm kind of interested in this. Hang on a second. Hang on. Now, liberality. I'm interested. Botanic says the quality of not being opposed to ideas or ways of behaving that are not traditionally or widely accepted. It's definitely changed. Huh. That's interesting. Yeah, but I'm going to throw it up here so you can kind of see it. Maybe you can, I don't know if you'll be able to. Go here. So there's, oh, you can't see it. Maybe you can kind of get it on the top there. I don't know if it's and then yeah, it's things have changed. You know, I'm okay with the change. I'm always okay with change. Everybody should be okay with change. But if it's dividing the species, then I don't think that's helpful to change. That's my thing. You know, if you have a problem with me being able to defend myself, from a tyrannical government, then maybe you're a part of that tyrannical government. And maybe you do like the pedo-predator, the global pedo-predator class. And maybe you're okay with owning nothing and having no privacy and being happy. Maybe you just want to rent. Maybe you don't want to be able to dig a well in your. Maybe you don't want to be able to do things on your property like harvest rainwater or plant vegetables and fruits in or healing plants in your front or backyard or anywhere on your fucking property. Maybe you want to fly a flag on the front of your house that you don't want people to see all the time. I don't care what fucking flag you fly in the front of your house. Just don't sell it to me. My flag is the flag I joined the military for. I did it for the people. I have a flag in the front of my house, and it represents the United States of America, the people of the United States of America. Myself, my close family, my distant family, my friends, my neighbors, my city, my community, my county, my state, and of course my country. Because I care about if it's going to be here. Are we going to have, the 80s back? Are we going to have the 90s back? I'd like to see the 70s come back, honestly. That was a fucking good time for a lot of people. And I swear to you, I'm telling you right now, if you ever lived in the 70s, and this is why they've gone after the boomers, right? Is because we understand freedom. We knew what real freedom was. You could plant and do all kinds of stuff in your yard and everybody fucking went out shooting, everybody was hunting, and everybody was having fun, everybody was doing all kinds of crap. Everybody had there wasn't a thing called organic. It didn't fucking exist. Because everything was straight from... I remember getting avocados at the supermarket that were from my grandfather's avocado ranch, his 6-acre avocado ranch. I remember going to the store down the way, kind of the busy part of Escondido, California, and I remember my grandfather, that's our avocado. And I go, how'd you know that's our... He was like, look, this is the same company that we sell our avocados to up in by the casinos. Anyway, that's where the packing plant is. I remember going out there and talking and making deals and going to these other with my grandfather, going to these other production distribution companies for our avocados, and this is their seal, right? This is where they got them from. And I go, oh, okay. He goes, it's probably not all ours, but I know ours are in there. But not anymore. Most of the shit you get is from Mexico or some other country. It's not. There are a lot of things that we do get locally, I'm sure, but most of it now is full of GMOs and antibiotics and steroids and freaking chemicals, and they're coated with chemicals, and they're washed in chemicals, and the chemicals get in your body. The stuff that you see, that the things that we used to eat when we were kids, French fries. This is the biggest one. I know it doesn't seem like much to you guys. I know it doesn't seem like much, but I'm going to tell you. McDonald's French fries were fried in tallow. They didn't move to Crisco until they were pressured by, the science. And Crisco's crap. That's like the worst thing you can put in your body. It's terrible. Margarine is like a molecule away from being plastic. And margarine has 26 or 7 particles of paint. If you've ever eaten margarine, you may as well lubricate your car with it, because that's basically what it is. It's terrible. They sold the shit. I can't believe it's not butter, because it's nothing close to butter. Butter's fucking awesome. Butter is what really brings out the flavor in a fucking waffle and a pancake. With nice, fresh, real... we didn't used to have processed sugar laced fucking... we had log cabin in a fucking tin can from a goddamn tree syrup. Maple fucking syrup. Real... And I remember that taste. It was real. It was authentic, and it was just so tasty with the real butter, real pancake, real flour, real grain, just everything. And then the goddamn French fries were wonderful. And they used to drop fried chicken, and they stopped doing that. And then they said it was bad for your heart. This gigantic scam against tallow and lard began, just so they could start their, in my opinion, methodically depopulation process. And now people are just buying it. You know, I'm dipping into these. Where did I get these from? From Hy-Vee. From Hy-Vee. I got some grapes. You know, you should wash off your grapes. Definitely with baking soda, water. It gets a lot of the chemicals off. You know. But the fruits and vegetables I eat today do not have the flavonoids and the carotenoids that they used to. They don't have the nutrients that it used to have. These chemicals that they sell and push to a lot of the farmers across the country, this has been happening for a few decades now, has been the pesticidal stuff, has been killing our soil, basically just turning it into sand, right? Terrible. If you don't see a bug bite on your food, on your fruits or your vegetables, then I wouldn't fucking eat it. I'm not kidding. Why do you say that? Because if the bugs don't eat it, then maybe you shouldn't. In our lineage, in our ancestry, because we've been here for hundreds of thousands of years, right? And we've kind of evolved, and I'm not really big on the whole evolution thing. I think we're more of maybe we're gene therapy made over time. I don't know. It could be. I mean, I don't have all the answers, but what I do know is we have proof that we've been here much longer than 10,000 years. And a long, long time ago, we watched animals eat food. And some of those foods maybe didn't work out for us. And then, our food testers in that time maybe didn't last that long. Tens, hundreds of thousands, whatever years ago. Like that fucking matters. But what matters is we've, over time, used the process of elimination. Trial and error. To get to where we are now. And it seems we've fucking forgot all that shit. But these people would eat the food. The animals would eat the food first. They'd eat the roots. They'd eat whatever's on that tree or that bush, and they'd pull off this colorful thing, or maybe they'd eat that. And then we'd try it. And we'd look at each other, and everybody's still standing. Good. 2 or 3 hours later, everybody good? It tasted good. You guys good? Yeah, okay. Let's keep eating it. Ta-da! That's produce. That's produce. Nowadays, it's crap. It's crap. It's just crap. And that shouldn't happen. Right? Remember I talked about harvesting our own water? Just like a few minutes ago. Maybe 10, 15 minutes ago. There are aquifers that come through in between Nevada and California. And they're kind of created by the Sierras, where all this rainfall will happen, and they go through the cracks and crevices, and they get filtered through thousands of feet, hundreds to thousands of feet of rock and mineral. And then it all goes into these giant underground reservoirs that span hundreds of miles, that kind of run diagonally between Nevada and California. And that water is delicious. It is. I've had it. I've had that water. I've had that water. That water is fucking badass. It is the best fucking water. Because if you look it up, Newberry Springs, California, where the 40 and the 15 major freeways, the 15 goes from LA to Las Vegas, and the 40 kind of goes straight on into the East Coast. The 40 fucking goes far. All the way, God, the 40 goes all the way, I think, to Tennessee, or pretty close to it. And it just goes on forever. But that's where it splits. But right there in that Y, on the top of that Y, as the 15 goes north from LA to Las Vegas, and then as the 40 goes, towards the east, in the top of that Y, in that corner, is called Newberry Springs. And there used to be, back in the late 70s, 80s, 90s, and then 2000s, Nestle bought upstream the aquifers, way upstream. And they basically started draining it. They couldn't drain it totally, but they also contaminated it, parts of it. And then a lot of environmentalists went after them, slowed it down a little bit, but they're still up there. And this happened probably like 2008, 2000, somewhere around there. And Nestle, the company, Nestle iced tea, they're turned into this. They started bottling that water, and they were just making bazillions of dollars of really good water. But it's different now. Now they use reverse osmosis. Okay, most of the water you get that's in a bottle comes from reverse osmosis, which doesn't have certain minerals. You can survive with it, but you've also got to make up for it by eating your fruits and vegetables. You can drink reverse osmosis water, but it doesn't have there are pure, designed by God himself, things that belong in the ocean behind me. See, that's the ocean. That's Margaret River, Australia, by the way. They're having a surf competition. I hope that Hausman from Southern California wins, because that guy's a badass. Hopefully he does. I don't know who the other guys are. That's the World Surf League. You gotta watch it. It's pretty fucking cool. It's very relaxing. But I'm an serious surfer. Probably should have went pro. No. But what I'm trying to get to, is we don't have that anymore. And your tap water shit. I want you to go to ewg.org, go to the water section, and put in your zip code. Let's do it together. All right? And I'll show you what I'm talking about. ewg.org. Let's do it together. This is a great site. And I'm going to tell you why. You go in here, you go down ewg.org. Excuse me. Let's just so you know what it looks like. It looks like this. Okay? There it is. Look for that sign. That's what it looks like. And we're going to go down and we're going to put in our zip code. Right here it says water, sunscreen. This stuff is terrible for you. Food, pesticides, children's health, just all kinds of stuff. This is a great site. A great site. And then right here, you put in water. No, that's not food water. Where is it? Oh, God, come on. All right, you got your safe drink water. Tap water database. There it is. Okay, where is it? So where do I put in my... There's a spot in here where you put in the... You put in your zip code. PFAs. Alright, where is it? I missed it. It's probably here. Aaron Brockovich, chemical taints tap water of 251 million Americans. Yeah, pretty fucking bad. PFAs, Hope Gross and Joanne Stanton. Hope Gross and Joanne Stanton, lifelong residents of Philadelphia suburbs in 2014. They learned that their community's drinking water had been contaminated by toxic PFAs chemicals. Now they are raising awareness of PFA chemicals around the country and fighting to get them out of our environment. Absolutely. It's just fucking everywhere. That shit is fucking everywhere. Where is it? Where is it? Water area. What the fuck? Skin Deep database, tap water database. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, here we go. Just go top right. Click the top right. All right. I'm going to put in, what's this? 92805, I think is Disneyland. I'm going to say, yeah, it's Anaheim. City of Anaheim. There's 450,000 people, probably more. Right? View utility. Hang on. Here it is. There are, just so you can see it, I'm not going to make it too small. There are 20 exceed EWG health guidelines, but there are 39 total contaminants. Oh, hey, Snark, how you doing, buddy? We got, by the way, Snark is the one that turned me on to this website. Thank you. Thank you, Snark. He's the guy that turned me on to this. Is fucking, but go in there. You know what I'll do is I think I'll put the snap. Just it's ewg.org. So there's all kinds of stuff in there. But let's look at all the contaminants of Anaheim, California. Oh, halocitrus acids. Right? There's 222 times the normal guidelines. That's fucking crazy. Oh, here's one. Perfluoroalkanoic acids. Right? Not that it... Look, I don't know what most of this means. I know Snork does, but here's the thing. It seems a little alarming that there's 1,483 times what the normal should be. Right, let's click the details. What this is? Perfluoroalkanoic acid is a member of a group of fluorescent chemicals used in many consumer products. And other perfluorinated chemicals can use serious health effects, include cancer, endocrine disruption, accelerated puberty, liver and immune system damage, and thyroid changes. These chemicals are persistent in environment and they accumulate in people. And you can read more about it. This is fucking nuts. Here's the health risks. The EW Health Guidelines 0.07 PBT flow was processed by the California Office of Environmental Health Hazards as a public health goal. The live of drinking water contaminants does not pose a significant health. Okay, bullshit. Well, I mean this amount, right? But some of this stuff. Let's just look at all the stuff, right? Let's look at all of them. Where is it? There's just all this. It's just, what is this? Now I'm going to put in my zip code. Right? I'm going to put in my zip code. Where's my zip code? All right. There we go. I'm going to put in my zip code. Right. Oh, come on, machine. Are you fucking with me right now? God damn it. It's not as bad as chlorium or uranium, but it's bad. Yeah. All right. This fucking computer. Here we go. Let's just refresh. And oh, I gotta put it in here. Okay. 4, 3. All right, here we go. This is what mine has. Mine has 9 contaminants. 9. Let's see what the big numbers are. Where's my pro? Well, I don't have the big fucking. If you were to pick anything out of here, Snork, I'll leave this up. Which one do you think would be probably the worst thing that's out there? You said chloroform. That's right here. 2.1x. I guess that doesn't seem bad. Nothing huge. But God, the difference is crazy. The difference is nuts. That's crazy. 92085. What's it? Is that what I said it was? No, that's Vista. Hang on. 92805. I used to live there. I used to live out in Anaheim, by the way. And isn't that's supposed to be the happiest place on earth? Right? But they have the worst water on the fucking planet. But I'm going to check. Los Angeles. Let's look at, just pick anywhere in Los Angeles. I'm going to pick somewhere. Let's just pick by where there's a lot of people. Let's check Compton. It's Norwalk, Paramount, Compton right here, where I used to play basketball. All right. Let's just pick any fucking house in Compton. Like the Hood. The Hood is going to be next to the freeway. I know that for sure. So it's going to be West Rancho Dominguez, pretty bad. Downtown Compton. East Compton, pretty crazy. And I'll just check this water here at this gas station, which is 90221. Let me put that in there. 90221. 90221. Compton water, yep, 81,000. There's 14. But I've compared the happiest place on earth where all your children go and they wash and prepare food with this water. Right? Chloroform 3.2. What's that? What's everywhere else? This one is Anaheim chloroform. Oh, uranium 14X in Anaheim. Fuck. What is it in? It's 5.4X in Compton. Where's it where I am at? I don't think I have uranium. Tetraheights. Yeah, I don't see any uranium here in where I'm at. Johnson County. It doesn't say uranium here. I bet you the blue states are just full of sick people. Is it just me? Oh, hexavalent chromium. Let me look at that. Is Snork is saying is like cancer on contact. Oh, Jesus. None of that out here in Missouri. Let's check Anaheim. What did you say it was? I'm kind of fucking confused here. Hexavalent chromium. Hexavalent chromium. Hexavalent chromium. I don't see that here. Or just chromium. I think you're saying chromium. Oh, there it is, in parentheses. Chromium 17 times in Anaheim. Let's go back to where I am. Chromium. Chromium. I don't have any chromium. And no chromium. Wait, where's this? This is Compton. Arsenic. Oh, there's 45 9 times arsenic. 459 times chromium. There's no chromium here. Let's see if there's arsenic. 33 times in Anaheim. And there's no arsenic in our water. But there's 9 contaminants. Well, 13 contaminants out here in Missouri. Anaheim has 39 total contaminants. And then there's 30 contaminants in Compton. Look, I think you guys are kind of getting my point now. And here's my point. All right. If you go back to here, and I'll just kind of show you this. This thing has been really slow today. Right? Mass depopulation. How do you get to mass depopulation? What does it take to have mass depopulation? You guys know what it takes to have mass depopulation? Snark says, most of the cities that burned coal a century ago full of uranium. Coal tends to have a lot. Why am I not able to read this whole damn thing? Something's going on with this. Most of the full of uranium. Coal contains a lot and it gets disturbed when burned. Interesting. Okay. But what I'm saying, overall, like I've always said, overall, and Citizens United needs to go because that helps. Nobody talks about fucking Citizens United or McCutcheon versus the FEC, right? But what I'm saying is that they don't give a fuck. If all of them cared about you, you would have zero, you'd have if you had any contaminants, they'd be closer to what I have. Yeah, no town wants to say they have bad water, but I think in my town it's much better. You know, you could just imagine the people that are dying from Anaheim, and then you take your kids to the happiest place on earth in Anaheim, California, and they're drinking water that has 39 contaminants. The most contaminants, I believe, on the fucking planet. On the fucking planet. I mean, and let's look at New York. Okay, now I'm fucking curious. New York, New York, a hell of a town. New York, New York, it's a hell of a town. Here's Queens. Brooklyn, let's go to Brooklyn, right? Let's see how good that water is. We'll go Brooklyn Children's Museum, where the kids go. 11213. We're going to go to 11213. 11213. Let's see how the contaminants in Brooklyn. Utility is the people serve 8.95 million. 18 total contaminants. Still not as bad. That's about the same as, let's see what they got here. Chromium is not that bad. I don't see uranium. Polluxic acid. Bromoform? That just sounds bad. Oh, no, sorry. The chloroform is 80 times. Holy crap. Is that bad, Snork? That seems bad. That's like the biggest fucking number I've seen there. Holy bejesus, bro. Holy bejesus. Brooklyn gets its water from many miles away. Okay, well that's good. It's a lot better than what's in freaking Anaheim, California, or the happiest place on earth where everybody takes their kids. What I'm going to tell you now, if you guys go out there, wash, drink, don't eat. I mean, everything. You know, that stuff is terrible. No wonder everybody's fucked up in Anaheim, California. People just think whack. They're whack. There's some fucking strange personalities and characteristics of people in Anaheim, I'm telling you. And now I know why. Right? But here it is. These people don't fucking care. If all these people cared about you, here's the first thing they would do. You'd have the purest, most safest drinking water, produce, fruits and vegetables, and meat. Not with a bunch of antibiotics or steroids or hormones and fucking and vaccine injections and all this other crap in them. You'd have pure, straight out of the fucking ground, grass-fed, open range cows, meat, pork, fish, fucking poultry. But they don't. They don't give a fuck. You guys got to get that in your head. It's just fucking hard for people to believe that fucking AOC could care less. Because she's already eating the purest, drinking the purest, having the best fucking drugs and alcohol that she could have. All of them. I think we need to propose a drug test. Alcohol and drug test. Random to everybody. By the people. You know who would not fail that? And this is what these people are afraid of. The one person that would not fail that test ever is the one person that doesn't do drugs. The one person that doesn't fucking drink. Which I didn't even know of. He doesn't drink. I think it was because his brother died or something like that. And he just promised him he wouldn't drink. And he kept his promise. You know, but I think this guy deserves a fucking beer, in my opinion, man. And I'm talking about Donald Trump. And I know, oh, you motherfucker, there it is. But he has 91 charges against him and not a single conviction. Russiagate, Russia, blaming it on Trump never happened and has been proven to be wrong. All these accusations, Stormy Daniels was bullshit. This Connolly lady or whatever is bullshit. All these trials, look at Fannie Willis, she's going down in flames. All these trials of bullshit. And then you're going to hear it tomorrow. They're going to have live testimony, or they've got to make the fucking dog and pony show keep going. The circus needs to be going. But they're going out. They went after this guy, and I'll just keep this short. As he used to hang around with the Clintons, used to hang around with all kinds of big political figures, and he was, lots of billionaires were. Lots of extremely rich and powerful celebrities used to hang out with the other celebrities. These people in this room right here, considered to be celebrities, more so today than they were in the past, right? Because of social media. But he had a good relationship and hung out with a lot of these people, rubbing elbows, staying in touch with the industries, the times, the laws. All these billionaires do. If you want to fucking make money in the stock market, you need to be sitting in this fucking chamber. Remember that. If you want to make money in the stock market, you need to be sitting here, because if whatever they do affects industries, it affects the ticker tape. That's an old term used for the movement of money in stocks, trades. But anyway, it used to come out. But here's where it is. Here's what happened. As soon as he threw in his name into the hat, or decided to run, they turned on him. Oh, yeah. Take care. It's okay. Thanks for stopping by, Snork. I truly appreciate it, bro. We got to do let's set it up. I haven't been on that CAD program, but I want to get back on there. There's some things I still want to do. The other thing is I want to do a thing on the management of polluted chemicals and microplastics and stuff that we need to be focusing on. The climate change thing is just turning into bullshit every day and twice on Sundays. But I do know we have a garbage management problem for sure. But we'll talk about that. I'll stay in touch with this week on it, and we'll work on it next week. Hopefully, if you're available. Take care, buddy. They all are these guys are all puppets. If they really gave a shit about you, right now you'd be drinking the purest fucking water, and you'd have the purest produce, and the USDA wouldn't be allowing people like fucking Bill Gates to bring in lab-grown meat. Simple Foods and Good Meats. Those are the two companies. Like I said, when I was younger, we used to have we had pure food. You could taste the difference. I mean, this apple is good. This fucking apple is delicious. But I remember when I used to pick it off our trees, and when I lived in Washington, we had this big apple tree behind my aunt's house, and my cousins. We used to go over there, and there was this big apple tree, and there was a horse that used to protect the tree, and the goal was, this is our horse, right? And the goal was to jump over the fence, get an apple before the horse would chase you away from the tree. But the whole time, the horse just wanted to play. And we thought it was, it was like the horse monster is going to get us. But we jump over the fence. It was like 20 yards, 30 yards. And we'd sprint, go grab an apple off the ground. If you were cool, you would go up the tree. And I went up the tree a few times. And then you grab a really good apple, right? And you put them in your shirt, or you put them in a bag, and you come out, and you're just and you'd have to time it, because the horse would be on the other side of of the little grove he had there. So, but once you started coming in, once he saw you coming, he kind of slowly start walking towards the tree. You're like, oh shit, man. Sometimes it was easy to get the apples, and sometimes it wasn't. But those apples were badass. Those apples were delicious. They were the best Washington apples, right? Just fucking awesome fucking apples. All right. That's why I have the show. I just want everybody to be, just have I want you to be able to jump over. I want you to have a nice big piece of property where you could have a fucking horse and an apple tree. I want everybody to have that. And there's plenty of space. There's plenty of space. Right? There's plenty of space. And then the biggest thing, we've got so much focus on war, disease, flu, big pharma, big hospital, big psychology, all this other crap. When we, right now, CERN, oh God, I want to talk about CERN. I won't. I'm kind of done for the night. But CERN, the Hadron Colliders, there's hundreds of, maybe thousands of these particle colliders out there in the world, is all being ran by the leaders that run all these the most powerful technology on our planet is being ran by the World Economic Forum. Yeah, I'm gonna get into that next week. I'm gonna do a whole thing on it. Everybody needs to know that these people, and I'm just saying, the World Economic Forum is the largest fucking terrorist group on the planet. And if you don't think so, then I got a fucking little bag of shit I know you'll buy for $100. Steaming pile of shit. All right, take care. Aloha to everybody. Mahalo.